Live. Right off the bat, and thanks so much for the $2 super chat before we were even live. LeBron, I am LeBron. But no, we're still finishing up. Obviously, we have, of course, just lost our last tornado warning. So we're down to 0 tornado warnings. We do still have a bunch of severe thunderstorm warnings that we're going to be watching over the next few hours. We're probably going to see you watch, for at least for areas like this. But yeah, today was obviously really crazy. We saw those tornadoes, or we all saw that tornado down there in Nebraska on a bunch of different Stormchasers live feed, and it was tornado of the decade in my opinion. Welcome in everyone from Max's stream. Oh, my chat already froze. W chat. Welcome in everyone from Max's channel. So of course we do still have all these random scattered severe storms that we have to talk about. Honestly, the ones that are most concerning to me are these ones in the area right here where we could honestly see more tornadoes still. This storm here near North Platte, this is the storm that Tornado Pagey and Bryce Shelton, you can see them above our head, are on. But this is some newer convection that we have going on. And that could actually potentially try to spin up a tornado. Obviously, the environment is already kind of scraped from the storm that we had there earlier, but there's still like small areas of rotation built in this. I do believe that there's not a tornado possible tag on there, but it is still possible that we could try to see something spin up. Obviously, we didn't think we were going to see a tornado in Nebraska today. I mean, I thought we were going to see a tornado probably further down here, not as far north. So I was kind of right, kind of close with my forecast, but we did not expect that to happen. Definitely a mesoscale accident, but either way, it happened. How long do you think you're going to stream for? Honestly, I don't know. I feel like I could go for 743 hours right now. By the way, for those of you who may just be joining us, Tornado Pagey and Bryce Shelton above our head, they're on the way to Walmart because they blew out their rear window, like the rear driver's side window, and the one on the back of their truck. So they need to go buy tape and plexiglass. 743, yeah, trust. 743 hour subathon, I don't know. That's what we're gonna go with. We do, honestly, let me pull up, whoa, 200 frames. I don't think we need 200 frames. Let me pull up the HRRR here on Radar Omega. It does look like this, system is going to continue and maybe even strengthen. Nope. We haven't ran the 2Z yet, so we'll go back to the 1Z. But this system that we have over here in North Platte all the way down to like Goodland, Kansas is going to kind of congeal into a line, eventually throw up an outflow boundary that'll actually set up our threat for tomorrow. Holly, thanks so much for the $20 super chat. Thank you for not talking about Texas. Yeah, this is like the first time. I don't even know. I think this is the first time like the last 5 live streams that Texas will not be mentioned. At least we're going to say hopefully not be mentioned. We could talk about how every single weather radio inside of like this area in Texas is not working. So that's also good because there's no weather. So perfect time to fix them. Welcome in Mason. Welcome in Texas. Welcome in Caleb. 743 hours equals 30 days and 23 hours. Time to lock in, guys. We're going to be here for a minute or two. What if we had max updates on your streams? You know, maybe someday, but as of right now, there's not that much going on, like on my stream. Like, I have a very, very simple OBS setup. I have one scene right now. I don't even have like a max scene or anything like that. Kurt, thanks so much for the $10 super chat in my new favorite stream. Hey, welcome in. We're a lot less serious, but we still talk about weather here. Just got a new severe thunderstorm warning in Wyoming for half-dollar sized hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds. This includes Glen Rock and Rolling Hills. There's probably like a population of 7 people in this. You know what? Let's play a game. How many people do we think is in this new severe thunderstorm warning? We're going to let people guess for like 60 seconds, and whoever's the closest, we'll see. It is more than you guys think, I think. The 2,500 is the closest right now. 3,000 is the new closest. Someone's going to get it right on. 3,500 is very close. We're going to go till someone guesses it. 3,500 is still the closest. 3,470 is very, very close. Someone's just going to check eventually. No one's got it yet. Cuba, you're good to go to bed. I've yet to see anyone get it. Oh, I'm not on top. I'm on top chat. Someone might get shammed. 3,479. All right, someone got it. The first person who I saw get it right was Mason C. So congrats to Mason C on winning absolutely nothing, but 3,479 is the population of the severe thunderstorm warning. Gonna start bouncing around radar sites looking for potential rotation here. Bring my GR2 down here. Can we see this on Omega? No, we can't. So I have to pull up GR2 to see this, which does not look visually pleasing, but if you guys can see this icon right here. Oh, I don't have my pen pulled up. If you see this icon right here, I'll have my pen up in a second. To the northeast of Rexford, Kansas, that's actually a wildfire that was reported by an emergency manager that was started by lightning. So, wildfire in Kansas from the thunderstorms that we've had move through that area. Nothing looks overly tornadic right now. There could still try and see something, try and wrap up. It would probably be from like around this area here. I just got a Facebook notification that I have 2,900 notifications. Because I never touch Facebook. I don't know how Facebook works. You know, Kewanee, Illinois on Wednesday. We'll get to Tuesday and Wednesday a little bit later on. I do kind of want to wait for this storm to get a little bit further away from North Platte just because there are a lot of people in this area. But once we get a few more model runs in, we will start talking about all that stuff. This is a considerable severe thunderstorm, by the way, that's south of North Platte right now. Let me do this, actually. So these are all the storms we have right now, and you can kind of start to see like a little arch here. This arch is eventually going to become a more archy, more significant, and move off to the east. Then it's going to throw out an outflow boundary like up here, and then that sets up our risk for tomorrow. Actually, the outflow boundary will be down there. But we do have an enhanced risk tomorrow. Bailey, thank you for the kind words. How's it going, Donald? Future radar Wisconsin tonight. Yeah, we'll come up and look at this real quick. So, we did have a little bit of like a small system, obviously, that moved through Minnesota, produced a couple of tornadoes. And I mean, it's mostly fallen out. This is really all we have left of it at this point. This is going to go mostly south of Wausau. You will be sniped by Nightbot if you use all caps. Yeah, Nightbot is not nice. You know, radios the chasers use. If you're talking about like Connor Croft or whatever, Connor, I think. Well, I don't even know who's all in this group chat. It's Connor Croft, Freddie McKinney, SRM, Kopic, Gherkin. I know I'm gonna miss people. Brandon Montgomery. Who else? I can't think. Oh, Jordan Hall's in there. There's a few others too, but I'm in there. I use it on my phone, but they do also have like handheld Motorola radios. There's a bunch of us on it. Max is on there. It's got a severe thunderstorm warning, including Grand Island, Nebraska. This is a normal severe thunderstorm warning with just a 60-mile-per-hour wind tag on it. By the way, I will pull this up quick just because there's a lot of people wondering. I do think this is going to be upgraded, but this is our outlook for tomorrow as it stands right now. We have a 5%. Wow, that's a really massive pen. We have a 5% tornado risk basically in central Kansas, and this is mostly a wind-driven risk, although we also have an enhanced risk for hail as well. I actually think that tomorrow is going to probably be upgraded to a 10 hatched threat. Let me pull up the HRRR here on Weatherbell. Wendy, thanks so much for becoming a 2% channel member. Actually, again, a 1 month. That's I think the first time I've ever seen someone send a membership milestone through. Kelsey, thanks for the $5 super chat. Regions, Central. All right, so this is what our system could look like tomorrow, looking at the 0Z HRRR. This is what we have left over tonight. I've been talking about these storms kind of congealing into a line, but then those kind of spit out an outflow boundary, which we see right around here, basically. And this is part of what we're going to have initiating storms tomorrow. And that is actually what you see pop up right there before it sort of congeals into a line. And this has two little arches right now. This is probably most likely going to be one moving off to the south. But the one thing that is interesting is there actually is a decent, well, more than a decent, a pretty favorable tornado environment tomorrow. So this is STP, which is going to be a little bullish on our tornado threat tomorrow, especially if we do see outflow dominant storms. But you can see down here, it's on a scale of 1 to 10, and it peaks at an 18.4. And basically everywhere along the front side of that line does have a strong chance for significant tornado potential. And if we do see prefrontals tomorrow ahead of the MCS at any point in time, they could most definitely produce strong tornadoes. SRH, or storm relative helicity, which is basically a measure of how able a storm would be to spin, is also very, very, very high. You can see it maxes out almost at 1,200, or just above 1,100, I guess, basically between 1,100 and 1,200, and that is on the very, very high side of our scale. So definitely could have a significant tornado day as well as a significant wind day tomorrow. B-Rup, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Is my new roof install in Wisconsin getting delayed on Wednesday for weather? Most likely not. North Platte, we did just get a new severe thunderstorm warning for you. Let me flip back to a different radar site again. This is a considerable severe thunderstorm warning. The reason it is considerable is because that 1.75-inch hail, that is golf ball sized, and 60-mile-per-hour winds. Tornado Pagey and Bryce Shelton, who are also visible above my head, are going to be going into this. And also, I don't know if you guys saw that. There's a person walking in the bottom corner here. Don't be that guy. We can see how much light. Oh, and I close it. We can see how much lightning there is there, and not the time to be outside. I'm actually going to do this. Click on their feed. Turn the audio on. Put it over in the corner here. They don't even do that. We're gonna full screen. And we'll watch them for a bit. Let's see if we can hear any thunder. I need to flip the audio on. But yeah, this is our storm going through North Platte, Nebraska right now on Tornado Pagey's live stream. Let me predict this size of hail and storms, I'll get to that right after that. There's like a bunch of different things you can do. There's actually an algorithm on GRQ that predicts hail size. Bro, the storm mode tomorrow is definitely mostly windy. Hey Dylan, thank you for the $2 super chat. Who saw that? I know other people saw that. Don't do this. Prime example of what not to do. We need the shame spam in chat. This is basically on the same level as parking under an overpass. It's walking outside freaking lightning. I'm gonna mute that and put it back above my head. But yeah, don't do that. Do not be that guy. Like, that is a really good way to get yourself injured in a way that you can't control. I say this all the time, but lightning, like, I love weather. I'll storm chase and do whatever, but lightning terrifies me. Like, you just saw that above my head again. Like, it is crazy out there. You can't control getting struck by lightning. You might be able to turn away from a tornado, turn away from a flood, not go in a whatever. But lightning you can't control, and lightning can just zap you out of spite. Rotation near Doniphan, Nebraska. That is not it. Does not even come up when I search it for some reason. But I will tell you, it is not in South America. I'd be willing to lock that in. Honestly, don't see anywhere with significant rotation right now, but we'll go on another rotation tour. Scarlett, thanks so much for becoming a 5% channel member. There's some broad rotation right here. I think this is a little bit of side lobe. For those of you who don't know what side lobe is, it's basically a contamination thing with the radar that makes it so it can't accurately portray the velocity data. None of this has rotation on it, and this also does not look like we had anything that would get tornado warned on it. S3, thanks so much for the $2 super chat. Oh my god, late tornado possible is back at the top of the stream. W's in chat for late tornado possible. I'm never going to fix that. We're leaving it as late tornado possible. For all of time. Tough time 21. Doniphan, that is this considerable storm near Grand Island. That's for 70-mile-per-hour winds. And honestly, I bet most of the wind's already out here where we have our outflow boundary ripping to the south. They're definitely not going to see a tornado on this with that outflow boundary. Like, this may look like a couplet, but I'd be very shocked if that is genuine rotation. Yeah, storms that are outflow dominant basically have a 0% tornado chance. They can still do damage, obviously, but not going to produce a tornado. Got a new severe thunderstorm warning here for Norton and almost into Cambridge. Bartley, Danbury, Lebanon, Oberlin, Norcatur, and Kansas. You're included in this. This is for 68-mile-per-hour winds and 1-inch sized hail. Watching while playing Elden Ring. Always on the Elden Ring grind. Christina, thanks so much for the $10 super chat. Mama, thank you so much for the $10 super chat. I have a friend in Strang, Nebraska, southeast of Hastings. Pull it up. Take a look. That is right here. There is sort of this thunderstorm complex on its way towards you. It's not, or the majority of the strong winds are off to the west, but this could definitely still produce some gusty winds. Not a severe thunderstorm warning right now. I don't see any tornado potential with that, but could definitely have a strong thunderstorm go through there. Zoom up on Gibbon. Search Gibbon. Gibbon, you guys are right here. Basically, I'm in the same area, except for you guys are west of the severe thunderstorm warning that's producing 70-mile-per-hour winds right now. If you guys are in North Platte right now, oh, and it just disappeared on radar. Right there. All right. I don't know if you guys see how much lightning's on this right now. This is definitely not a storm that you want to be outside. And you can see all the lightning activity above our head. That is Stormchaser, Tornado Pagey, and Bryce Shelton. And a lot of lightning in this thing. All right. So we did this on Max's channel. But we're going to try it again. And I'm going to give a few other pieces of information. If you guys were here on Max's channel, you know we had that heat map that showed where everyone is. We're going to try that again, but I need everyone to send their location in this format. It's got to be a town name, then a comma, and then a state abbreviation. If you do it like that, every single person will register, but you have to send it like that to be registered on the heat map. So let me know where everyone is watching from, and whoever has like the highest area on that heat map, we're gonna give you a personalized forecast for that area. See a bunch of town names coming in now. All right, I see a bunch of them. It has to be the abbreviation for the state, by the way. Like Minnesota would be MN. Wisconsin would be WI. Nebraska, whatever. See Marion, Iowa. I saw a tornado there once. We're going to end, right now it's 10:14. We're going to end at 10:15 Central Time. And then we'll take a look at that. It's like 1 minute of accepting town names. By the way, if you send it multiple times, it does not count it multiple times. So that doesn't work, but I see a lot of New Yorks, which is surprising. And a lot of Kentuckys and Texases as well. I guess we've been mostly live for stuff going on in Texas, just because that's where it's been active the last few days so much. A lot of Texas and Oklahomas. We're ending it in 5 seconds. And then I'll have that image for you. Yeah, don't use all caps. Nightbot doesn't like that. Does it work with Canadian provinces? You know, I don't know for sure, but I know it was made by a Canadian, so probably. All right, that graphic is generating. Just got a new severe thunderstorm warning up here for Ord, Nebraska. This is for 60-mile-per-hour winds, and will be expiring 30 minutes from now. So this is the heat map. And unsurprisingly, a majority of the people are watching from Lincoln and Omaha, Nebraska. Our risk today looked basically like this, which is also the area that we have the most people watching. Also got a lot of people watching from Ohio and Illinois. DFW is big. Down here in Florida had a ton. Shout out to everyone on the West Coast. And like individually count, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. We have like 18 people from the western half of the US. What's a heat map? This is a heat map. Like, registers one person there, and then if there's more people, it makes it a little brighter in color. I think it goes all the way to red. Got a new severe thunderstorm warning north of Goodland, Kansas. This is where we had a heat burst earlier, actually, that measured winds just shy of 90 miles per hour. And honestly, it does not look like there's much convection ongoing here. I wonder if they've said anything about that in the warning. Yeah, so this is the same thing here. We have another heat burst that's causing these super gusty winds. Basically, a heat burst is when the air dries out and warm air is sort of forced down to the surface, and that creates super gusty winds. So that's why we see a severe thunderstorm warning in that area. Des Moines does exist. Des Moines right here. Definitely a place on the map. There's probably a very slim chance of a tornado in Lincoln tonight. Like, very, very, very slim. I mean, once this convection goes through, it's basically just not going to happen. I wouldn't say 0% just because that would be cursing it. I do think we had someone ask from this general area what it was going to look like tonight. They did just issue a considerable severe thunderstorm warning for this storm that's now moving off to the east-southeast. So that will have 70-mile-per-hour winds as it moves off to the east, and less than penny-sized hail. North Platte, you're still under considerable severe thunderstorm warning. We do have no tornado warnings. It says that obviously right top of the stream, but no tornado warnings. I do think a moderate risk is not like outside of the question tomorrow. We're definitely going to have a considerable line of severe thunderstorms that moves through, but I wouldn't say it's a guarantee by any means. You ever do a live stream with Max on Twisted? I've never managed to get Max on Twisted. I've tried. It just doesn't happen. There's just a lot of scattered severe storms going on at this point. I think there's probably another. This is a heat burst too. No, this one doesn't say heat burst. Wonder if the NWS has any good graphics on heat bursts. They do. I can show those. Trying to find some. Well, not really, but wonder if I can draw what it looks like on Radar Omega. Can't really show what it looks like, but here. Like, let's say the temp looks like this. Goes down. Suddenly goes up, and then kind of tapers off. Dew point we need. Something like this, sudden drop in dew point before that ticks back up. Then we need a humidity line, which would look something like this. Also would drop. Janice, thanks for the $10 super chat. Doing a great job, Denver, Colorado. We'll get to that after we finish my beautiful painting here. So, pretend this is like what it looks like. You can see right here, the temperature drops, and then it suddenly spikes after convection goes through. The dew point obviously drops as well, and so does the relative humidity. This is basically what a heat spike looks like, and it just causes gusty winds and just erratic temperature, dew point, and humidity values. That's what we have ongoing over here for the next 54 minutes. That is from dissipating thunderstorm. Denver, Colorado, almost nothing going on there. Yeah, literally the only thing showing up on radar is the mountains. Tobias, Nebraska. I probably said that wrong. Yeah, so this considerable severe thunderstorm is on its way towards you very slowly, but you're good for the time being. I'm assuming it might slightly weaken, but it is still a considerable severe thunderstorm warning for the next 38 minutes. So that would have winds up to 70 miles per hour. And honestly, there's probably going to be gusty winds coming through here as well. You can sort of see that outflow boundary. Even though there's not a severe thunderstorm, it's definitely still something that's not out of question. Holdridge, Nebraska. So this is just a regular, but still important to take note of, severe thunderstorm warning. That's for 1-inch hail and 60 mile per hour winds. Khan Academy drawing. Oh my, it's not that bad. Better than that. Come on now. Don't cap. Leroy, Wisconsin, you're good. Up in Wisconsin, we just basically have generalized rain showers, barely even rain showers at this point going through. This portion of our risk, did not cook today. And that's mostly because it didn't really initiate anything significant. We did have, tornadoes over here. And more up to the north near Lake Mille Lacs, but that was it. Honestly, we're almost toast with our severe thunderstorm watch on the day. Wonder if we've had any discussion of a new Bezo or a new watch. I don't think we have. Got a report of nickel-sized hail, I believe, on this storm in Wyoming. Warned for a tornado possible. Wow. What? I don't even know what radar site to look at this thing with. There's nothing close. Yeah, there's definitely a rotation on it. It's probably a poor attempt at a bookend vortex, so we could maybe see a tornado warning for the rotation we have there, but most likely not. Crazy that Wyoming and Montana has just had so much scattered stuff going on the last few days. That a hail core above Ray. I know multiple rays. We're gonna go to the first one that comes up. Makes sense. We did just get a new severe thunderstorm warning up here in Wyoming and South Dakota. This includes Sundance and Balula in Wyoming and Spearfish in South Dakota. That is for 60-mile-per-hour winds, I believe. Yeah, and quarter-sized hail. Adams County, Nebraska, we just had a report of 59-mile-per-hour winds. I believe that's Hastings. Yeah, so that's right here. This is the thunderstorm that's currently warned for 70-mile-per-hour winds, but we've only seen reports of up to 60, so we may see that warning get downgraded. Thoughts on papaya crash? W. Lando Norris going for a gap that doesn't exist. I'm going to take a quick peek and see how many tornado possible severe thunderstorm warnings we have. I think it's only that one in... Yeah, we have one in Wyoming, and I think that's it. So our only tornado possible storm right now, or tornado possible tag storm, is this one east of Casper, Wyoming. We are, like, this is a 2% tornado risk, so although we saw one of, like, the craziest tornadoes of all time today, our tornado risk is still, like, quite low overall. So, yes, David, the tornado threat is 100% starting to die down. Junction City, Kansas. Oh, where I know where this is. Oh, I talked about this earlier. Oh, yeah, it's down here. You guys are honestly mostly out of the risk today. I'm probably actually going to go over here and switch the daily outlook from tornado to wind, just because we're honestly talking more about a wind threat for the rest of the day. This is where you expect to sort of see a line congeal. Oh, sorry for yawning, guys. We had a rare tornado in Western Australia today. I didn't see that. Or recently, someone should like send me that on Discord or Twitter. I don't know how I'm tired because like I've been drinking this coffee all day. Guys, we talked about this earlier, but Tornado Pagey and Bryce Shelton, who are above our head, blew out a window. They already got more tape, and they did that about like half an hour ago, I think it was, and they're going back into Walmart to get even more because they already ran out again. They're trying to protect the window that they blew out. I wish I had a picture. Don't have a picture. I texted and asked for one. My reward for guessing the amount of people in the tornado warning: Arapahoe, Nebraska tonight. Yes, you deserve it. Arapahoe, Nebraska. Your own personalized forecast. Honestly, no severe thunderstorm warning right now. And all these are just scattered over here, but I would like bet good money that at some point you're going to get at least couple covered by some sort of severe thunderstorm warning for at least 60-mile-per-hour winds at some point tonight. You draw a picture of the window? Yeah. So here is what a window looks like when it has glass, but because it doesn't have glass, it just looks like this. Just a box. Empty box. No, there could definitely be hail too, but I think hail is going to start to become a secondary threat just because we lost our daytime heating. I mean, it still is really warm, but we're not going to get those super explosive updrafts that we get when it's sunny out. There's a high-end F2 tornado in the city of Ulm, Germany recently. Flipped a ton of cars. I need to, like, keep better track of international tornadoes. Just, like, it's so random, like, when we see international tornadoes and not. The U.S. is so much more predictable. I'm gonna find, actually. I just remembered, like, I have videos of the tornado from earlier today, and we should look at those. So this is from Tornado Pagey and Bryce Shelton, but this was a tornado we had earlier today. And I forget the town name, but it was somewhere in Nebraska. Like the tornado of all time. That was earlier today. How's it going, zombie? Tornado possible storm. So that is our storm in Wyoming. It's trying to have a little bookend vortex on it. We'll take a look at the velocity. And yeah, it does honestly look pretty significant. I would not be shocked if we see a tornado warning for this storm here shortly. Counterclockwise rotation, that is cyclonic rotation, and it would indicate that there could be a potential tornado. I'm gonna do this. And it is agreed upon by a second radar site as well that we do have counterclockwise rotation. So could see a tornado warning there. And this would probably head up towards Douglas. Hopefully go north of Douglas. And actually this doesn't even look that MCS-y, funny enough. Kind of looks like a bunch of mini supercells congealed together. Really hard to actually get a good look at it because it's in the middle of radar nowhere. But that is a velocity couplet of some sorts. Yeah, it's decent. It's like decent rotation. I wouldn't say it's overly strong, but I mean, I wouldn't complain if they tornado were in that. Definitely would not complain. Crazy to just kind of like watch some of these storms chill, some of these storms zip away. All just sort of exist. Honestly, looks like we're going to start to have a flash flooding threat. Yeah, all the tornado pictures from today are literally insane. I'm actually amazed at how much rain falls in the storms. Yeah. Let me grab GR2. Look at our precipitable water. I think it's on this place file. Don't see it. I swore it was on there. Oh yeah. Unfortunately, I can't circle it, but it's in the bottom right-hand corner. You can see it says PWatt of 1.7 inches. That is a high precipitation supercell. So high precipitation supercell, as the name suggests, means it's capable of producing high amounts of precipitation. GG, I do think we could have a decent tornado potential for the next trough ejection later this week, but it's kind of like one of those things where it's hard to tell, especially when we get into the summer, exactly what our setups are going to look like. Like, we could have something that looks really good, and it ends up doing literally nothing. But we can have something that looks really bad, and suddenly the day of, it actually starts to look better. We're continuing to see this rotation here in Wyoming. Still no tornado warning for that. I believe that is still a tornado possible tag on that severe thunderstorm warning, however. Pretty neat outflow slash bowline slash thing near Hastings. Yeah, so I'm assuming what you're talking about is this right here. And this is outflow. Oop. This is outflow from basically all of our convection that we have going on out here. That's nice. Cold air getting pushed out of the backside of that storm. Like you can see, this weather station hasn't updated in a while. I would imagine this one in Kearney has. It's like 73, 69, but then all the way down here we have like 81s where we're yet to see this outflow reach. Thanks for the $2 super chat, by the way. My YouTube chat just broke. W. Pull that back up quick. Alright, got that pulled back up. Central Kansas tonight. Oh, you are under, I guess, mostly western Kansas, but there is a chance of significant wind, and it does go down further, but not tornadoes. You're looking at tornadoes tomorrow, however. Take a look at the possible storm. That's the one that we were just looking at. This is our area of rotation here on the backside, or not, I guess the backside, kind of like in between our two storms we have going on. Honestly, this one even looks like it has a little broad rotation on it. We just got a flash flood warning in Nebraska. Another one. Wait for that to update. Oh, that is right here. We did like briefly mention that there was probably going to be some flash flooding potential, but this is an observed flash flood warning in effect for the next 5 hours and 37 minutes. Let's go ahead and read some more information on that. Emergency management reported and Doppler radar confirmed thunderstorms producing heavy rain across the warned area. Between 2 to 4 inches of rain has already fallen. And you're going to see a little bit more additional rainfall totals up to 1 inch. So that would be 3 to 5 inches total. And they're importing Highway 11 in the Scotia area has flash flooding that has affected some vehicles. And this is probably going to be something that we continue to see even further off to the south, where we still have convection ongoing and more to come. And we're going to see more of these flash flood impacts throughout the day. Got a report out of Mankato, a delayed report from Mankato, Minnesota earlier. 2-inch sized hail. That is egg-sized hail. I'm actually surprised no tornado warning still. Yeah, I think it's just like one of those things where you can't really tell based off radar. So we did that heat map earlier, and we saw that there were a lot of people from different places. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at this. We have our 4 consecutive days of severe weather. This was our outlook for the rest of the day. Basically, we're pretty much done with this. But tomorrow, we do have an enhanced risk in Kansas. This is driven by wind and hail. 30 hatch for both of those. Boom, bang, bop. And a 5% tornado risk. I could see this going to a 10 hatched for tornadoes, and a 45 hatch for wind. That'd be a moderate risk, and a 30 hatch for hail. That would be a moderate risk of severe weather if we do see those upgrades. Day 3, we have this giant slight risk that encompasses all of these states. Sorry, I got a little excited with the pen there. And this is probably gonna have like a 2% tornado threat for the majority of it, maybe a small 5% tornado threat within it. But then further out than that, for once, we have some sort of severe weather going on the East Coast. Normally, like the last few weeks, we've had like 1 or 2 events here. We actually had some tornadoes the other day in Virginia. I think it was 8 days ago now, but we're also going to have another slight risk there. They've been dealing with a lot of flash flooding over the last few days, so unfortunately they need to take a break from the severe weather, but they're not going to get it. Also, if you look at days 5, 6, 7, and 8, it doesn't say potential too low. It says predictability too low. That's because we do think we're going to have severe weather those days. We just don't know where exactly it's going to be. What is the weather in Alabama? I don't think we have much going on in Alabama. Yeah, it's like the most clear I've ever seen it in Alabama. I hate it. Like, this is gonna be me venting. We're gonna vent for a second. I hate it when there's weather, like wind reports, and they sit right on top of the radar site, because then you like try and go click the radar site, and it just tells you like 50-mile-per-hour winds. It's like, no, I want that, not the wind report. We still have this severe thunderstorm warning for our heat burst for the next 33 minutes. These are actual thunderstorm warnings, but well, I guess this one is too. It's just sort of different flavor of warning, if you know what I mean. But yeah, we are starting to see a downtick in our severe weather activity. Crazy light show North Platte. Yeah, that's what we have going on above us right now. Sorry for scratching my eyes. That's what we have going on above us right now, or what we did have going on. That is a Stormchaser, Tornado Pagey, and Bryce Shelton in North Platte. Got a 50, a 52, and a 53-mile-per-hour wind gust out of Wright, Wyoming. So that's right here. I believe that's probably, even though it says right, it's probably going to be like in here. Honestly, like, I would love to be live forever tonight, but the storms aren't like storming. They're scamming us, bro. One thing I'm insanely curious to see is if the usual happens. I live along the Kansas River in a lake made by a dam. Often storms seem to split on the 2 water systems. It's definitely not because of the dam. Like, that's not what causes that to happen, but it is like I know I live, or when I lived in Minnesota, here in southern Minnesota, I always see like, oh, well, I'm living here, but these storms are just gonna like do this. And I was always like, oh, well, it's because we're in a natural valley, so everything goes around us. But in reality, it does not make that much of a difference. It just feels like it does, because there's always that location bias. You're like, oh, it's never me. It's never me. It's always 2 miles to my north, 4 miles to my south. When's it going to be me? But then when it is you, it like doesn't trigger like, oh, it's finally my turn. It's just like, wow, finally, I got something. Starlink just told me to turn on data overages. I'm not even using Starlink right now. Alright, DS, thank you so much for becoming a 2% channel member. Said you'd stream for 743 hours. I did. Didn't really trigger in my head that that was 30 days, I'm not gonna lie. How was it getting to meet up with Max? It was great. Max is an amazing person. It's not just like some facade he puts on for a stream. We had a really fun time. Holton, welcome in. 1 million beers has entered the chat. 100 million or 1 million beers is elite ball knowledge. You're probably the only person in this chat that understands the 1 million beers lore. Look at CC and velocity on one storm. Talking about a storm in particular, or just you want to see it on any storm? Is the sub worth it on Radar Omega? What features would you get? So, I am subscribed to Radar Omega. One of the things you get for that subscription is obviously I'm not streaming from a mobile phone. I'm streaming on my computer. In order to get access to Radar Omega on your computer, you need that subscription, and everything is better on a bigger screen. It's just more interactive. So that's one thing you get. Obviously, you also get all these models. You got convective allowing modules, regional, global, tropical. You get a bunch of extra radar information, like 714. Like, I think the normal line stops right here, but you can go all the way back to 250 frames. There's a bunch of other stuff you get too. In addition, like if you're subscribed, obviously there's times where there's a lot of people using radar apps, and it weighs down on their data centers. It weighs down on anyone's data centers. I mean, we see this with Radar Scope, which doesn't really have subscriptions like Radar Omega does. They do, but it's more for some other stuff. But if you're subscribed on Radar Omega, you get that priority update. So say there's 12 million people on Radar Omega. If you have a subscriber, you're actually going to be the first to get that radar information. And this is something that a lot of other companies implement in a more clunky way, and they like to hide it. But I actually think like that's one of those things that's good to know. Like, hey, if you support the app, like you're gonna get a better experience. You know, the other big app right now is Weatherwise, and I just don't like the UI of Weatherwise. Like, to me, Radar Omega is the best. Like, I can look at it and it's not like, oh, this is like weird, it's strange. Like, it looks really, really good and pleasing to look at. And there's a lot of other radar apps out there: Radar Scope, Weatherwise, Weatherfront, Radar Omega. I think some of the other ones that have popped up recently, but Radar Omega, I just like to look at it. Obviously, GR2, that's not really the same thing, but got a new SPC mesoscale discussed. Heard a little ding. Severe threat increasing. A new watch will likely be needed overnight. So I know we had a bunch of people asking about Central Kansas. This is basically your turn here. We're going to see an extension to our watch probably. Winds up to 80 mile per hour. Hail up to 2.5 inches in diameter, and tornadoes less than 95 mile per hour in intensity. Doesn't say, normally it'll say like, oh, watch probs 80%. But the fact that it doesn't say that makes me think that there's a pretty significant chance of a tornado occurring here. Yeah, there's a lot, like, that's part of my complaints with Weatherwise too, is there's a lot of stuff going on. I don't like navigating stuff. I like being able to find what I need when I need it. We are starting to see a lot of cancellations of our severe warnings over here in central, or I guess southern Nebraska. By the way, guys, we are probably going to wrap it up soon, but we are at 28,469 nice subscribers. What are the odds we can hit already up to 28,470? I know we can hit 28,500 by the end of the night. That would be a W. If we do that, that means we've hit either a 500 or a 1,000 benchmark every single time we've live streamed. Let's wait for SPC. The SPC is not going to update for like another 3 hours. That's a long time away. I might be wrong. Hold on. What time is it? I can't even see my computer clock right now. No, unless I'm wrong, the SPC updates at 6Z, and right now it's 351Z. So we're like a while away from an update. At least the day one. Yeah. The next day one outlook is scheduled by 6Z. The current UTC time is 035Z. I'm not insane here, right? Interrogation files, welcome in. Hey, no issue. We don't need to be rejoining or gifting subs. You're here every single stream, so we can still get W's in the chat for interrogation files. He gets them anytime he shows up, whenever he wants. We always get W's in the chat for interrogation files. All right, we're going to look at the HER, even though we kind of just did that. But we're going to do it again. Because these storms, honestly, there's none of them that are overly concerning. I wonder if they still have a Tor possible tag on that one. Yeah, they do, but it's looking a lot less significant. And we're moving into a mainly wind threat. We have we have 0 considerable severe thunderstorm warnings at this point in time. So we're going to look at tomorrow's risk one more time and wrap things up here. This is what we have going on right now. Just a few scattered showers out there. And this is going to continue for at least some time. We saw that they're probably going to issue a new watch, and that is for these storms that we kind of see dive off into central Kansas. And then this is actually going to set up our severe threat for tomorrow, which does look like a significant one. We're going to kind of see the line of storms fire east to west across Kansas and start working its way south throughout the day. It's currently an enhanced risk for hail and wind. We could see an upgrade to a moderate risk for wind and potentially a 10 hatch risk for tornadoes come the day one outlook in 2 hours. And yeah, that's what we have going on the 0Z8RRR. 2 lines. I do think it'll probably more than less likely be one and or slightly more discrete on the line to the other side of it. But definitely something to keep an eye on. And then that kind of moves out, or that like basically exists from all the way from 6 p.m. to 3 a.m. tomorrow before it breaks up in Oklahoma, Arkansas, and Missouri. Chicago, I know there's people watching from Chicago here. Your threat on Wednesday is going to be associated with these pop-up storms we're going to see as the system freaks its way further off to the east. It's really hard to kind of get an idea of what it's going to look like exactly, just because it is still 44 hours out. But we'll see those tornado probs at around, I believe it's 3 or 4 a.m. tonight. We're going to see those, and then that's when we'll get a better idea of what's going to happen then. I do think there's going to be probably a 5% tornado risk for probably a good portion of Illinois, somewhere in there. And of course, as always, we'll be live on both Max's channel and my channel, depending on what happens on those days. So other than that, there's basically nothing going on. Let's pull this back up and look at what we have going on across the entire country right now. Basically, just these remnant severe thunderstorms we have in Kansas and Nebraska, as well as 2 up here in Wyoming and another one up here in Wyoming and South Dakota. But other than that, that's basically it. So thank you guys so much to everyone who tuned in today, whether it was my channel or Max's channel. We're only able to be here because of people like you, everyone who's even watching the channel. You guys are the reason to make it possible for both of us. If you're new to the channel, go ahead and smash that subscribe button and click that bell icon so you get a notification next time we're live. We're probably going to be live again tomorrow to cover the breaking up of our MCS there, just to make sure we don't miss anything between Max and I. But until the next time, goodbye. Probably tomorrow. But thank you to everyone who supported the channel today. Shout some random people out here. We have Angie, Coffee, Julia, Zombie, Moon, Interrogation Files, of course, Jaden, Mandy, and everyone else. I'll see you guys tomorrow.